Today, I introduce you to a novel technique for creating multiple stability bunkers that are unsealed from a single location. I'll show you how to build an example footprint and how to turn it into a simple base that protects the bunker loot from at least 40 rockets. Even though I introduced the stability bunker exploit back in early 2018, it took until 2019 for it to hit the mainstream. Now it seems that this technique has found its way into every second base on YouTube. The simplest version works by placing an upgraded floor tile onto a half wall that remains twig or wood. If surrounded by foundations and walls at the right places, the floor tile will seal off the access to the bunker. To regain access to that bunker, you need to spawn inside of it and destroy the half wall. Since no other building block is giving stability to the floor tile anymore, it collapses and the bunker becomes accessible. The beauty of this design is that such a bunker seal is much stronger than a regular door. A fully armored bunker is about as strong as 4 armored doors. Thus, it's no surprise that the community has experimented with including several separated bunkers into one base. One approach could be to spawn inside of each of the bunkers separately to open it up. The downside of this approach is that you need to wait out several back timers. Thus, wouldn't it be great if you could just spawn in one location to open up several bunkers at once? In April 2018, I had presented a triple stability bunker concept which did exactly this. Destroying this single twig half wall in the central bunker would simultaneously collapse 3 floor tiles, which acted as seals to 3 completely separated bunkers. This was possible at that time because full walls did not give stability to floor tiles attached at half height. Thus, I was able to use full walls to separate the 3 bunkers. However, since these days full walls provide stability to floor tiles attached at half height, this design is patched and it had become impossible to recreate this concept. Well, or so I thought. Until Lord Desert came along. Lord Desert realized that foundation steps allow to have floor tiles above them without giving them stability. And if the foundation steps are upgraded to armored, they become solid and can be used to separate underground bunkers. Understanding the basic concept is easy, but coming up with viable and reasonably compact footprints is incredibly difficult. Lord Desert spent hours and hours testing different footprints and identified 3 different stems, that is, building blocks that kept reappearing in the most viable footprints. Each one of them has 2 bunkers that can be opened from a 3rd position somewhere behind the foundation steps. Today I'll use the stem on the left to walk you through the creation of a viable footprint with 4 separated stability bunkers. And at the end of the video I'll show you how to turn this footprint into a base. To build the footprint, start off with a square foundation. It needs to be quite low to the ground, but not too close to the ground. Temporarily, place a floor tile above it and verify that you can place sleeping bags underneath it. In case the sleeping bags cannot be placed, raise the foundation a bit more. Once you verify that the sleeping bags can be placed, replace the square foundation. Place twig foundations to the ground as shown. This will be the bunker area. On the tip of each of the square foundations, place a triangle surrounded by half walls and close them off with ceilings. Then, seal in the bunker by placing raised armored foundations all around the outer perimeter. Place 2 more in those gaps. Replace the outer square foundations with foundation steps, but leave them twig. Upgrade them only after you place those floor tiles above the foundation steps. You should be able to fit up to 4 sleeping bags into the central square. This is the spot from which the bunkers are unsealed. Next, we fill in 2 large boxes into each of the bunker. Through clever use of drop boxes and barbecues, Lord Desert has found a way to maximize the storage and provide a capacity equivalent to almost 4 large boxes per bunker. However, cramming that many storage items into 2 triangles is a bit tricky, so I leave it for a future video. From within the square with the sleeping bags, you can place another 4 small boxes into each of the 2 foundation steps. I'd use the innermost boxes to store tools to break the half walls. Make sure that you can place the half walls. This only seems to work from the outside. Their soft side should be facing inwards. With this out of the way, close off the remaining parts of the bunker with armored floor tiles. To open up the bunker, spawn inside the central square and destroy the 2 wooden half walls. And voila, all 4 bunkers are open. Now let's build an example base on top of that footprint. Place a TC on that triangle adjacent to the central square. If you build this base on a live server, I would build this TC compartment right after you verified that the sleeping bags fit. This way you claim the building privilege as early as possible. Behind the TC, place another armored foundation to negate splash damage when raiding through foundations. On the opposite side, create an airlock. On this side, right behind the bunker, we add this triangle with a door frame on the inside. Then add a double layer of walls all around the base. This triangle needs to be walled off as well to negate splash damage. In reality, you would close off the ceiling by now. I'll leave it open so you can follow the build steps. Those double triangles below which the bunkers are situated can be turned into the above ground loot rooms. They'll fit at least 3 large boxes each. Distribute utility items wherever they fit. You surely can find more efficient placement strategies, in particular if you utilize the honeycomb as well. Now fill in every remaining space between foundations with wall frames and garage doors. Only leave out this spot just behind the research table. Since we're done with the inside, I'll close out the ceiling now. To match the durability of the ceiling with the durability of the walls, we need another layer of honeycomb on top of this part. From the inside, the base now should look somewhat like this. The bunkers are accessible through the first floor loot rooms. When you go offline, hop into the bunkers, place the half walls with the soft sides facing away from you, and upgrade them to wood. Then seal all 4 bunkers and upgrade the seals to armored. You might have wondered why we left out this one garage door near the entrance and what this extra triangle next to the airlock is for. Walk into it and place a slanted roof onto the bunker seal. It can take quite some time to find the right angle, so keep trying if it doesn't work immediately. The roof cannot be bypassed and acts as additional protection from door raiding. If the stability seal of the bunker below it collapses, the roof won't have enough stability anymore and will collapse as well. This base costs about 17k metal frags and 290 high qual. In the sealed state, the upkeep is about 3.7k metal fragments and 51 high qual per day. The cheapest way I found to raid all 4 bunkers and main loot rooms was 42 rockets. Let me know in the comments if you find a cheaper way to raid them. Admittedly, the base is not thought out as well as my usual builds, but I wanted to get the concept out there for you to experiment with it. I hope the video inspires you to try out your own multi-stability bunker base. Shout out again to Lord Desert for discovering this amazing technique and for sharing it with us. Have fun with it. Until then, Evil Wurst out.